2 out of 3 teenagers that are sitting in our churches this Sunday will leave in their 20s. 2 out of 3. You know, you like to stick your head in the sand, but then you see stuff like this where the cover of Newsweek magazine says the decline and fall of Christian America. You think, how in America? We've got more resources in this country than we have ever had before, and yet America as a nation is becoming less Christian every day. There's a rise in atheism from books to billboards, the increase in violence. We're in a moral war. It seems like every time you turn around, you hear of another argument. And really the bottom line is, as a nation, America has gotten away from God's Word as our authority, as what we live by. There's a crisis of faith in God's Word. People doubt God's Word, and one of the biggest attacks from so-called experts in the area of science and history, where they say, you know, the Bible really is only good for spiritual things. When it comes to the earthly things, you know, you really can't trust it. And they'll take that further and they'll say, you know what, if you can't trust the first part in Genesis, then why would you trust the rest of it? And teenagers, in a way, are kind of caught in the middle. You know, they're dealing with all these things that all come from the same book. And what they're saying is, can I trust my Bible? When you talk to me about the Bible, can I trust it? All of it. Because if I can't trust part of it, you know, what part don't I trust? And so here they are, they're not sure what to believe. And many times we'll just use this phrase, hey, you just got to have faith, which is true. You do have to have faith, but what if we had answers from the Bible? Could we possibly change how people look at God's Word? I mean, what exactly is a day? Can you tell from looking at what Genesis talks about? Can you tell what a day means? What about a loving God and death? I mean, is that part of God's original creation? And then you got Noah's flood. I mean, is this a fable? Is this just a story? Or is this real history? How big was that boat? Could you really get all the animals in the ark? Was this something that really happened in real history? You know, we know it rained for 40 days and 40 nights. But in that same verse, do we know that it talks about the fountains of the deep burst forth? And what would that have done to the earth's surface? You know, supernatural events from God like this, do we factor them in our science? Would it change how we looked at things? Because if we don't factor in the supernatural things, then what as Christians are we going to do about a virgin birth or the resurrection? And see, the way that we answer these questions, they're not side issues. The way that we answer these questions, it changes everything. And so the battle is on. It's God's Word versus man's word. And what we've got to do is equip ourselves as a church. And we can change this trend of 2 out of 3 leaving. Over the next 3 weeks, come and learn, you know, what can we do about this? Because the answers, if we stick with God's Word, the answers are there.